Welcome to the Insurance Marketing Masterclass, where we discuss how to market and grow your insurance agency. I'm your host, Joshua Farley. In today's episode, we're going to be going over choosing page-level keyword strategies. This is kind of picking up from episode 9. All right, welcome back. As I mentioned, we're going to be going over choosing page-level keyword strategies and kind of how to do that. So starting off, we're going to talk about search terms and competitors, and this is really important when it comes to building a keyword strategy on the page level, because you need to understand what people are searching for and what your customers are targeting as search terms. So ideally, you want to look at your, the SEO market, if you will, and what's available. And you want to find something that has the best of two different worlds. The first world is people going to it, obviously. If it's a keyword that people are not targeting, then are searching for, then why target it, And that's true to a degree. An exception in insurance would probably be your hometown, towns around you. People aren't searching for this all the time, but you're such an easy, choice because you're right there. So definitely target that stuff, those keywords, but also think a little bigger. Think about, if you're close to a bigger city, especially, if you have insurance to do, or insurance licenses to do business in that state, why not target, like in our case, I'm in the Boston area. So, and I'm a bit outside of Boston. So why not target a little closer to Boston? Is it, really going to hurt to reach out and be relevant in that space? So, so take a look at that, and it will vary depending on where you're at, obviously. But another thing that you can look at is going state level with some of your keywords and start targeting that stuff. So those will be a little harder, but as you build domain authority, you'll find that it's more feasible. So the second thing that you want to really look at is your competition. And, if you have a lot of people searching for a certain key phrase, keyword, whatever, you're going to also have varying levels of competition for those keywords. And this is a little harder to track. I mean, Google does offer some type of competitor kind of insight, but it kind of gives you, it used to give you, a better idea, but now it kind of gives you, it says like high competition, medium competition, low competition. It's not really that intuitive. So there are some third-party tools that do this, and they analyze the rankings on the first page of Google, and they say, well, how much, how built up are these websites? How much authority do they have? And then it'll say, based off that, you're going to get a score 1 to 100. For how difficult each keyword is. And so how do you find this type of stuff? You need to be able to search volume, competition. You could even search how many referring domains, a competitor website has. And one of the tools that I recommend for this is kwfinder.com. This is for looking at your search volume and competition, and it's a decent tool. There are some better keyword tools like SEMrush, but really to get like a quick snapshot without really diving into it too much, this is a very good tool. It's also a lot more cost effective. So if you're looking to buy something and you don't want to spend $1,000 a month, or I think SEMrush has a $100 a month option, but anyway, check out kwfinder.com. This will give you the search volume with a competition level. It will not give you referring domains. If you want referring domains, I suggest Majestic SEO. There's also another tool called Market Samurai that's tied into some of Majestic's data, and I say some of Majestic's data because it's not as comprehensive as Majestic SEO platform, but it does get some of the data. One of those things is referring domains. And so let's look at, actually you go on here and you're starting to choose your keyword, because that's the next step. So the first thing I want you to think about is, what is your long-term play for the page? And we kind of talked about that in episode 9. Um, if you have, a page that you're building up, you're going to be building links to, you want to have a long-term SEO strategy in place, and you want to know it's the right thing, to do. So, as we talked about in episode 9, if it's the main page on your site, don't narrow the scope too much. Keep it kind of broad. Talk about everything you do in a natural way. And, you want to build your link profile to individual pages as well. I mean, definitely your homepage and brand authority to your homepage. But, one example, this one we actually, at the time of this recording, we're on the first page of Google for. It's Boston Aerial Photography. It was something I got into, and I'm actually thinking about scratching this service. But, we chose Boston Aerial Photography for obvious reasons. First, it's locality. I'm not driving, to Pennsylvania to to do an aerial photography project. And we could have went with something more like aerial photography. Now, aerial photography gets vastly more searches per month, but also the competition level goes up. It's not as relevant, and it doesn't target my geography. So for that reason, we chose Boston Aerial Photography. Kind of an opposite example of that would be where we decided to choose Insurance Marketing Agency over Boston Insurance Marketing. And the competition level for Insurance Marketing Agency, especially insurance marketing, over Boston Insurance Marketing is, the competition's more steep. But when it comes to insurance marketing, we have a nationwide approach, so it doesn't make sense for us to build this page for Boston Insurance Marketing. And again, that goes back to long-term scope. What's the long-term goal for this page? And the long-term goal for this page is that when someone in California or Texas or Florida or Ohio, put in Insurance Marketing Agency, or hopefully insurance marketing, we come up on the first page. And we're not there yet, but we're definitely, I believe we're on page 4 or 5 right now. We're still trying to build some authority on that page, but it's a longer term play, and it's going to take a little more time to rank for that. And so really know where you want to go in the long term for each page. And I kind of gave you 2 examples there. One where it's like, yeah, the short term is okay, because it makes sense. And then another one where, no, we need to play the long game because that makes sense. So know what you want to do. And another thing I just had written down here, I kind of already mentioned it, but geographic scope, especially for insurance agencies, you're in your local area and maybe you're based around a city or something, that's a good scope. And you can kind of choose both, especially if you're building multiple pages on your site, and you can kind of target and segment, different aspects there. Like one thing you might do for those in Kansas City, and which Kansas City, and that's my point, is you can do, Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri. You could target both of those, and people are probably going to be searching for both of those. And then both of those pages, you're also targeting Kansas City, which is another really good point. It's actually the next point on my list now that I look down at it. Keyword inside of a keyword. Aerial photography and Boston aerial photography. So I'm targeting 2 keywords by going after Boston aerial photography. And insurance marketing agency. So insurance marketing and insurance marketing agency, and they all fit into the same, keyword there. So you might, it might be Kansas City insurance agency, or, Atlanta insurance agency. So you have insurance agency, and keep in mind, even somebody in Atlanta looking up insurance agency, Google knows typically where people are looking, searching for something at, and it's going to bring back local results. So even just being in Atlanta and searching for insurance agency you're not going to get results from Texas. So it's relevant in that way. So you're really kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and it's definitely a good approach to take with your SEO. So, and another thing is to find comparable keywords to use in the body of your content. And by that, I mean, you want to have search terms that are similar. So, you could use something like insurance company. Some people search for that. This goes back to you're in your industry, and you have what's sometimes referred to as the curse of knowledge. You know so much about your industry that you speak in a language that other people don't relate to. And, somebody else might be searching insurance company as opposed to an insurance agency. And they mean insurance agency a lot of times. A consumer will mean, they're not talking about, a carrier. They're talking about, somewhere that they can go get insurance locally. So keep in mind that, you can use these interchangeable keywords in your body of your content, and Google's algorithm will detect similar words. So, it analyzes web pages and it says, well, this keyword is used also in conjunction with this keyword on the same page multiple times across multiple websites on the World Wide Web, and we've analyzed this. So we know that these two words or phrases are correlated together and they're comparable, or they're seen together often. So using, you can't use too many exact match key phrases, right? So you can use, if your key phrase is insurance agency, for instance, then you can use that, a relevant number of times based on your keyword density and how many words you have on your page. But you can also interchange that for insurance companies sometimes, and it still sends signals to Google. So take advantage of that also. So we're coming up on our time. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. What a great episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, head over to the website at blue-phoenix.net/IMM. That's IMM for Insurance Marketing Masterclass. And if you have questions or topics that you'd like to have answered and discussed, be sure to request a topic on the page. Until next time.